My name is Liam Mc Cauley, born and reared in Donegal. And I was reared, as my mother would say, up in the workhouse. And the reason why I was reared in the workhouse was my father was the first ambulance driver in the county. And when he was called out at night, they would have to get somebody out of the bed to go down to get him up to go out. So what people, I wonder, realise that Donegal was run by a board of guardians, and they had a monthly meeting up in the lodge, they called it, and where your grandfather Peter Griffin and his wife and the family, they lived there and they operated that side of it. But the meeting was held once in a month, and it was of prominent people in the town. Now, they weren't all prominent. There was farmers, there was people of knowledge, and they, I don't know how many now was in the committee, but it was the first Sunday, I think, or the last Sunday in every month. And they were in charge as to how the thing operated. Well, there was a bit of a farm up in the hospital too. There was 3 fields.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the football field and the one now on the other side of the railway.
Yes. Right.
And there's one then on the other side of the water. And they had cows.
Oh.
And everybody used to give a bit of a hand to milk, like if need be or whatever. But as I say, whatever the town needed, it had to come up before the board of guardians.
Right.
And was decided then. Well, then it came up, my father come in 1922 as an ambulance driver. And he was the first ambulance driver in in Donegal, 22, and it was an Oldsmobile, I think, but it come to Tipperary in a box. They assembled it.
Oh, yes.
It was a left-hand drive. There was no glass on it. It was kind of a plastic. It wasn't plastic, of course. It was some kind of a thing like similar to plastic. And he drove the yoke up and stayed in the hospital that night, and the next morning then he met my father, and he took my father out to demonstrate this wagon. But they went out the Clare Road, and just before you come to the chapel in them days there was a wee bit of a brae, you know, and there was a man going along there with a horse and cart. Well, there was a footpath run from the town out to Clare Chapel. The footpath was on the left-hand side.
Yeah, right.
And out at Clare Chapel there was a stable, big stable on the right-hand side. And they knocked it down. It was a great building as far as I remember, but they knocked it down anyway. But this man, he was going along anyway, and this man was demonstrating to my father how to drive this yoke. Yeah. This man, name was, can I mention his name?
Yes, surely.
Robbie Barclay was his name, and he had a lime kiln out behind Clare Chapel. I think it might be there still, but right. Not in use.
Right.
But he was deaf, and he was walking on the footpath, and the old horse were plottering away on his own. There was no traffic or nothing on the road. Right. That's what he thought.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden he was deaf, and he catches this thing coming. Yeah. And he run, his thing was to run and catch the horse. Yeah. He ran out, Jesus, your man clipped him with the thing, the ambulance.
It's the first patient, wasn't it?
He put him in the back of the yoke and brought him back. Right back with him. I made patient. So that's...
So Robbie Barclay has this thinking of being the first patient in the
ambulance. Yeah, that's right.
And then before you go any further, before the ambulance lane, would they have had horse?
No, there was. As far as I know, there was a man by the name of I could be wrong, but I think I'm right enough.
Yeah.
Alex Scarf had a horse
Right.
and some kind of a wagon for
Right.
use it as an ambulance.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of local thing, you know.
Yes, yes.
But outside that, I don't really know.
Yes. Yeah.
But that's just a kind of a story that springs to my mind that I remember.
Yes.
But then, you see, as I say, everything was run from that area.
Yes.
In 22, you must remember that the British was in charge up in the workhouse.
Right.
The army side of it, the hospital side of it, and then there was the school.
Right.
There was a fella here well known to a lot of people still today, Bobby Sturdy.
Yes.
Well, his father, he was the workhouse master.
Yes.
He was in charge of it, the school and the building and all that.
And where was the school then, so?
It was down. It was in the middle of the structures, you know.
Yes.
It was there in the zone, and it was there up, and it was still, until they knocked it down, it was still known as the schoolroom.
Oh, right.
And there, you see.
Yes.
But he left them, and then that's the bit I wanted to take. I hear people knocking, you know, different people of the past, such as the religious nuns and priests and brothers and all. You hear that thing, and you start when you're young. You start thinking about these things. What are they really talking about them?
Right.
You know, but I can imagine 22, British pulled out, there we were, no school,
That's right.
no hospital, no authority, no money.
Yeah.
I would say the local parish priest who lived just out the road, I would say he got out his bicycle maybe and away he went to Ballyshannon. And he probably went to the convent, and he probably went in there and he said, look, I need school for boys and girls, and I need the staff, no money, and I need hospital equipment, nursing staff, no money.
Right.
And the nuns come, and they started, and they organised and delivered the whole lot, along with the priest. Priests don't, you see, and apart from the priest, the other communities, I'm sure they were well supported by their ministry too, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I would guess, yes, so.
Yeah.
They looked after their own,
Right.
which was the thing to do.
Right.
But again, it progressed from then, and then it became a district hospital. And I suppose the county council had taken it over then.
Right.
But there was 2 ambulances in the town here. There was the fever one.
Yes.
For the whole county. It was a very dark green one.
Yeah.
And then there was the district ambulance.
Just to get to the fever hospital, Liam, when was that built around the same time? When was that built, do you know, or when?
Oh, that was the same time. 1842, and if you go up in front of the lodge, you'll see it right up there.
Yeah,
it was 1842.
So the fever hospital was built to cater for people with fever at that time?
Yeah. You see, you must remember that there was no sanitation.
Right.
And therefore, all the deadly fevers, they were very prominent.
Right.
Because of the sanitation.
Yes.
People were ignorant to the fact that that's what was causing a lot of their problems, you know.
Yes.
And they weren't careful enough about their sanitation, you know.
Yeah.
But a lot of people there worked in the hospital, gave a lot of employment. And then the town end of it, well, I knew everybody from Clara Chapel and right down, and everybody in the town, we all knew who they were.
So you did, like with a family of eight Mc Cauley, so you must have been very much involved in the community in Donegal, all of you, boys and girls, all of you.
Oh, very much so, and I hear them there the day talking about variety shows and all the rest. And my father and the Pumpkins and Jesus, Josie and Kevin and I was in them myself, and so was Tracy and all them shows.
Yeah.
And they were great. I mean, even we had the thing that had a name on it, a festival, and it used to be in the Diamond, and we'd have costumes that would get them from Dublin and dressed up.
Oh yeah, Ann Tostel was it?
Ann Tostel.
That was 1954, I think.
Well. Yeah. And honest to God, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was a reenactment of the O'Donnell, wasn't it? Red Q O'Donnell. Was Philly Britton, he was Red Q O'Donnell, was he, on the horse?
Well, I can't remember, but no, everybody in the town was involved in it, you know. You would help if you could. That meant just putting on the uniform and walking.
Well, I've seen photographs of you, Liam, as a young boy, taking over at the railway station with the Donegal Drama Society. It must have been the 1940s, was it, or early 50s?
Well, something like that. I've seen that. I probably have that photograph, but yeah, that's right. That's right. You go round, the whole town was in it.
Yes, that's right.
You can't name really a family that wasn't involved.
I know what you mean.
In it or out of it. No, sure, that organist in the chapel now is retired. At their 62 years, I might be wrong about that, but she's in that photograph.
Okay.
You know, when the Linds and the Neil McLanahy and Kevin and but I think Ken McMullen might be in that.
He was in that photograph as well, yeah.
Well, there's a thing too now. Ken McMullen, in my opinion, and that's my opinion, he's not mentioned very much. You never hear him mentioned very much.
Was he responsible for building the club rooms down there in Waters?
Well, I'll tell you the story about it.
Yeah.
He arrived here when the chapel was just beginning to be built up there.
Yes.
You see? And that was 32.
Yeah.
As far as I remember.
Yes.
I could be wrong about these things.
No, you're right, not that date's near enough, I think.
But anyway, the thing wasn't started, but he went ahead and he built it. And then the church where the place is, the old church was at the corner of Water Street and the main street. Well, he was left with that building, and the question was then, what was he going to do with that?
Yes.
But you must remember, in them days there was nothing.
Right.
George Coates had a cinema down at the back of the Highland now, which is known the Highland Hotel, but it was Chapman's in them days.
Right.
Chapman's had a chemist shop.
All right.
And if you're walking down now on the Diamond and you look down, you'll see the whole thing on the
that's
street.
The back of the Central Hotel at the moment, is it? Yeah,
that's where that.
Okay.
And there was a garage down there too, as far as I remember.
Oh, right. Okay.
But I could be wrong about that. But Ken McMullen, he wasn't a kid in them days, but he knew the depth that he had up there.
Yes.
And I don't know whether he had advice or just a divine inspiration, but he decided the cinema, Hollywood was the place to head for. So he got the best of everything.
Yes.
He had two big projectors. He had the sound was good, and they had kind of elevated the floor up to the back, and there was 4 pennies, 9 pence, 1 and 3 pence, and 1 and 8 pence to the balcony.
Well, the 4 pennies are known as the croakers, were they?
Well, that was the slag.
And who was the projectionist then before? I know Shimmy McIntyre and Jim Keeney were the one.
Latter years, aye.
But who was the early projectionist? Would you know, Liam?
No, I'm not sure about that. I think Jimmy McIntyre might have had something to do with that start, but he wasn't too long there.
Right.
But I think Ken McMullen then would be looking at Jimmy McIntyre every day. He's parking his car just outside the gate and looking at Jimmy's, where his bicycle shop was.
Sure.
And say, well, he's mechanically minded, maybe. I'm saying this now and I'm not sure of that. But I know they took off.
All right.
And then there was Jim Keeney. Of course, Jim Keeney, this parish never survived without Jim Keeney.
Right.
He was 7 o'clock in the morning to ring the bell.
That's right.
And get ready for Mass. And then he cleaned out the church and then down to the cinema.
Yeah.
And set all up for the cinema.
Yeah.
And he was there then till 11 o'clock at night. And that was 365 days a year.
Of course, then you had the usual, you had the usherettes then in the cinema, Bella McGowan.
Oh, that's right. There was a whole clap on them.
Yeah. But can I get back just before we leave the hospital, and something that I'm very much interested in is the train crash in 1949. If you have any memories of that.
Well, I'll tell you now. I was a boy messenger in the post office, and I was coming up from the dinner,
right.
And the crash had just happened, and Jimmy Gillen, the late Jimmy Gillen, and Don McMullen were standing chatting on the bridge when the smash. That's where it happened, directly onto the bridge, you know. That's where they do. Now,
that was now in front of where the old...
Where Paddy O'Toole...
Paddy O'Toole's house is where in front of my grandmother.
That's right, that's right.
Yeah.
And apparently one shouldn't have been on the track, whichever one. There was a court case and all about it.
Okay.
And the people involved in it.
Yes.
And the bus driver was a man by the name of Jimmy McIntyre from Ballychannon. He did the rail car that was coming from Donegal.
Right.
And I think the engine driver, his name was Sweeney.
Right.
But then my father was down the town, and somebody says, go and get him. So I got on the bike and down and met him, coming walking up. He was nearly at the hospital.
Right.
And I told him, he says, go and get Danny Monaghan. Tell Danny Monaghan, come out, tell him all. So I went down and I told Danny and everybody.
That's your old father, is it, Danny you're talking about?
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
They all rushed out anyway and down the train, and then the CAE bus arrived.
Yeah.
Or it was CDR.
Oh, right.
CDR bus arrived with all their staff on it. And I remember my brother Gerald with a big crowbar busting a hole around the funnel of the engine to let out the smoke.
Oh, yes.
You see, because the rail car had mounted the engine, and the engine went through it and stopped nearly at the bottom, you know. But then people gathered around, but I remember that Sweeney, the man with the staff,
yeah,
they wanted the staff of him.
All right.
But he put it in the toolbox and he locked it, and I said, there's nobody getting that. That's my evidence.
All right.
That he had the right of way.
Yes.
You know, and he wouldn't surrender the stuff. I think the guard should have come. No, could be wrong about that.
Yeah.
But that's, I think, how they got it.
Jimmy McIntyre, the driver of the other train, he was killed, was he?
Yeah, he was killed.
And wasn't Mrs. Jerry Stewart on board that?
She was, and
a woman from Clara, was there? A lady from Clara?
Yeah, that's right. I know her name too, but I just can't think of it at the moment.
Yeah.
There was 3 killed in it.
All right.
And when it was all, I remember then I come down. There was a wee halt there at the bridge.
Right.
For collecting passengers.
Right.
And I went down there and I looked and under, and here I seen a body up, and that man, I went up and then got my father said, there's a man down here and under the train. And it wasn't under the train, one of the wagons or whatever. And it was Sonny McGinley.
Oh, Sonny McGinley.
Sonny McGinley, I heard that he was in the front with the driver when they come round that bit of a bend there from the old iron bridge.
Yeah.
And he eyed the train coming. And he got out of the cabin, opened the door, which was a kind of a sliding door.
Right.
And he jumped out. And he hit the bank and come back and hit the train. But he survived it. But he was in poor shape.
Yeah.
But they took him up to the hospital. That was the last one went up, you know.
Right, okay.
But that was, you said 49.
Yeah.
I think it might have been 47.
No, because I'll tell you why I say 49, because my mother had me up, I was 2 years of age.
Yes.
And she had me up that day visiting her own mother, and she often told me that story. But I never knew the full story of the train crash.
Well, you're probably right, like, I'm only going.
Yeah.
But them things that happen, and Ken McMullen has to pay a penny towards the chapel.
Right.
And then he came up with the idea about the cinema.
Yeah.
And then the next thing was, boys were clearing the back of the cinema. There was a street there at one time. There was Water Street.
Yeah.
Or Church Street.
All right, Church Street.
That was the back one.
That's down the side of the cafe there now.
Yeah, that's right. Down there was Charlie Brown's, the McGlanaghy's. Mick McGlanaghy was a blacksmith.
Right.
And him and the O'Donnells, wee Tommy and all that crowd. They all lived down there, down to the river.
Okay.
Then there was a row of houses in the front of it.
All right.
That was a front lane, I think they called that. I could be wrong about that too. But
Okay.
there was a whole lot of prominent people that in the time lived there, you know. Johnny McHugh.
They live down there where the club rooms are built now, is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But the boys were clearing up there, and some of the good people went and told Ken McMahon what they were doing. They were reading the whole Joe Kelly, Tommy McCormick, and gee, I can't remember that.
Yeah.
The whole young fellas around 20 group. They were reading all stones and leveling it off, and they were at it 2 or 3 evenings. And the next thing, Ken McMahon, he or he, they asked them what they were at. They said they were making a place to play handball. And he said, you know, it's church property. Oh, well, we were parishioners more or less. The boys were saying, Joe, what harm are we doing?
Yeah.
I don't know what they said, but I could imagine, you know, what harm. We weren't going to argue with them. They won't argue with the boss.
A lot of those families you talked about, say the McGlanaghys there and Willie Brown, and they would have been rehoused then out in St Joseph's Avenue and up in Marion Village.
That's right. The first, and them houses, that estate, St Joseph's was, Charlie Campbell was the first one. And I think it was Shan O'Donnell was the next one.
Yes.
And Tommy Reid.
Oh, yeah.
And Tommy Reid and who else? There was 4. Just can't think of it at the moment.
Is that the original first 4 that were built, was it?
The original first 4.
Did the Bennetts live there? Was that later?
They got, they might have got Tommy Reid's house.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Reallocated them.
Yes, okay.
But, you see, this is what happened, and the community was built right round the whole lot.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying to you. When you growing up, like, there was none of that area constructed when you were a kid growing up. From from Eddie McMahon's right out to the school. Do you remember that? Well,
I'll tell you now, from the hospital.
Yes.
There was James McMullen.
Yeah.
The old mill there.
Yes.
Upstand.
And what type of mill was that for, I wonder, was it?
Some kind of a mill of some description.
Yes, okay.
But, and then on out then was, there was nothing then till you come to the two council houses. Gillens lived in the first one and Divers lived in the second one.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Then there was a school.
Right.
The parochial house was where the B&T is now. And then the school. And the next thing then was up there was a man by the name of Johnny McCormick.
Where did he live now, Liam? Was that the big 2-storey house that used to be where Clarendon Drive is now there? You remember there's a 2-storey house up there? Where they built those houses down there, Clarendon Drive.
I don't know where that is.
Do you know that the NBA houses, we call them out there?
No, there was nothing there.
No, was there not a big 2-storey house there?
Oh, that was a man by the name of Nearly Doherty bought that field.
All right.
And he built a 2-storey, but he never finished it.
Oh, did he?
But somebody else finished it.
Okay.
You know. People went to live in it, different families went to.
Right.
But there was the lane down then to Carl's.
Yes, okay.
And Montgomery's, Jimmy Montgomery's was the next house. Right. And then the Kilpatrick's.
All right.
That was down that lane.
Right.
There's only 3 down there. But further on out then, out the road, the first house you come then was down. Off the road there were Divers.
Right. Oh,
and
yes. I remember.
Divers.
Mary Ann never lived there.
Mary Ann never lived. She was housed from there up to
Marion Village.
That's right.
Right.
And then there was the Cassidys.
Yes.
The Casties, big family, the Casties. And his wife was a sister of Charlie Harvey's.
All right.
And then the next house to that was McIntyre's.
Right.
Johnny McIntyre used to run the mill.
Oh, we did.
Weaver's mill over here where Tom Godwell.
Okay, would that be Mickey McIntyre's father now, or would it be his
No, it'd be an uncle.
Uncle of Mickey
Uncle
McIntyre.
Mickey
Would
McIntyre.
it be Cumbie McIntyre's father? Would
Yeah, Cumbies, that's right.
Gusty.
Gusty, and
Yeah.
there was a big family in it.
To get back to that field that we mentioned with Jim, was it Johnny Doherty you said? And you played football, I know you played football yourself with Four Masters many years ago.
Yeah.
Was that the football field out there, Liam, at the back of that, on the way down to Girls?
Yeah, on the right hand side.
Right hand side.
Where the house is that you're talking
Yes,
about.
yes.
Yeah, that was the football field. They used to lease it of Jimmy Montgomery, the man that was down that lane round further.
Right,
Pretty
okay.
prominent, the Montgomerys, there was
Yeah.
Francie and Tommy
Sure. Right,
and Jimmy.
right.
And the GA used to lease that often.
And was that the field before they moved out to Kirkconnell Park? Or was
Oh
it
yeah, that was a field.
All right, that was the only field in town.
That was the only field, yeah. There was no, couldn't get a field. There was no money,
Yeah, yeah,
basically.
yeah,
See, everybody was very happy.
yes.
I suppose in the whole town there was the bathroom system where
Yeah.
you give something, you get something back.
That's right, yeah.
You know?
Well, that's the way to do it, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
suppose there wouldn't be so much of a handling today if we had continued the system.
Well, that's for sure, all right, yeah.
But nobody wants to know that. But then there was the prominent people in the town that nobody,
Yeah.
we never heard about them, such as
Yeah.
the late Willie Collins,
Right,
Bert Ellis,
yes.
well, Bert Ellis, Willie Collins, Sammy Kerr,
Yeah,
the Floods, the Gallons,
right.
and well, the Highlands, but they were it was Chapman's before that.
They came around the 47, 48 or 49, was it when the Highlands moved in there to the hotel, was it, Liam, that era?
It was pretty around that time, you know.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that I wanted to tell you. I was over in Rosa got her youngster christened
Right.
over outside a place they call Litchfield.
Oh yes, I've heard of that, yeah.
Now this is a bit of history. So I was over and we went and we were chatting after to the parish priest there. And he says, where are you from? I says, I'm from Donegal town.
Yeah.
Oh, he says, I'm from Donegal town. Say, you're from Donegal town?
Yeah.
So I say, what's your name? And my name was Sharkey. Sharkey. Then I remembered hearing about a Paddy Sharkey.
Yeah.
But that was all. I never heard of it mentioned.
Right.
He says, yeah, he says, I left Donegal a long time ago. He says, we owned the Abbey Hotel.
Gosh.
Right.
Right, okay.
And he says, I think he said something about a bakery. No.
Yeah, yeah.
But then I went on questioning him a bit further. He says, well, you know the Craigs of Ballydavid? Yes, says I do. I remember them well.
Yeah.
Annie Craig and she had a brother. That's right. He says, well, they'd have been my aunties and uncle.
That was Barney, was it? Barney?
Barney Craig,
Yeah.
been uncle. And he says, out in the farm.
Yeah.
He says, we used then when we sold the hotel, we lived out there for a while. I suppose I was thinking then, suppose he went out there from the hotel out to...
Yeah, because Travers owned the hotel, so they must have owned the hotel before Travers owned the hotel.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I have photographs, Liam. We had a photographic exhibition before Christmas up in the St Patrick's Hall there.
Yeah.
And there was an old photograph of that, of what was the Abbey Hotel. It was a bakery in actual fact, so he's right there. It was a bakery and confectionery shop.
Yeah.
So that was Sharkey's that owned that.
Well, I don't know now, he mentioned it, but whether he said he owned it or not, they said they owned the hotel anyway.
Yeah.
And he said, then every year I went over, I'd always going to mass, I would always stand back
Yeah.
to have a yarn with him.
Right.
So, but then it was after mass,
Yes.
and it was very busy time for
Yeah.
him because there was meetings and people in and out and chatting. But he wanted to chat to me, but still not able to get on with his business.
I understand. Yeah.
But,
yeah.
He said to me the last time, that was just a year ago, he says, would I see much change in Donegal? Well, says I, Father, like yourself and myself, we move on and the town moves on and everything changes.
Yeah.
There'll be big changes.
Yes.
But now that I'm mentioning it, you know,
Yeah.
I was sorry that I didn't invite him.
Yeah. What age of a man would he be as an elderly man?
He'd be coming up in age anyway.
Yeah.
But he's still well with it and very capable.
Yeah.
But here's another thing too, now that in that area, now I'm a long way from Donegal, but in Litchfield,
Yeah.
there's a kind of a town house or a county house.
Yeah.
I know it's a kind of a county council office.
Yes.
What's the name of it?
Don't know.
Donegal House.
My gosh.
Now I told your man Dermot McGilligan about it.
Yeah.
He said he was to go and inquire. I don't know whether he did, but I went in and inquired with Rosa and Brady. They never heard of it, Donegal. They never heard of Donegal. They never heard of the county.
Yes.
And I said, I come from the town of Donegal.
Yes.
And they couldn't believe it, but they weren't able to give us any information. They didn't know anything themselves.
Oh.
They didn't know why it was called Donegal Town.
Right.
You know.
Donegal House.
Donegal House. But, and I'll tell you, Paddy, if you went on the internet, I'm sure you would get both Father Sharkey
Yeah.
and Donegal House.
I know you're a man laying that's into boating and everything else. Just when you mentioned Donegal, there's a new plaque up down at the pier at the moment about the anchor.
Yeah.
And well, that's the ship that was captured during the French invasion of 1788. It was renamed the Donegal that fought at the Battle of Trafalgar.
Is it up there now, is it?
Yes, it's up there now down at the pier, yeah.
Who put that up?
Patricia Callahan, the mayor of Donegal, put it up, and
What?
County Council. It's just down at where the big anchor is, down at the pier there.
I never heard of that.
And on that big anchor, do you remember that big anchor, Liam? Because I know you've into that area very well. And
Well, I'll tell you about the anchor.
Yeah.
There was Hugh Cassie had a wee grey tractor.
Right.
And that anchor, you could see the eye of it.
Right.
Well down.
Whereabouts was it now?
It wasn't down as far as the old springboard now.
Right, okay.
But about halfway between the springboard and the pier.
Was
And
it
it was always sticking out of the water.
Oh, in the channel?
In the channel. Now, not the flukes,
Right.
not the, just the eye.
Yes.
But anyway, there was a contract given to Hugh Cassidy
Right.
to get this out.
Yes.
So, of course, when the tide would go out, he would go down and start to dig and dig glaring. He had it all dug round. But then he was that heavy, he just couldn't move it.
Right.
And the next thing was then, he asked Davin.
Right.
He had one of these big American high-powered
Yeah.
breakdown wagons.
Right.
Well, it was more than the big crane and everything on it.
Right.
Wild power on it, and it winches back and forward.
Right.
And all kinds of gears on it, you know. But anyway, Mr. Davin, he come down and they got the boys down and they got the massive length of all kinds of cables and ropes and chains and everything and put it around this thing, and they were pulling and pulling and pulling. Couldn't move it.
Right.
So 1 o'clock came, of course as usual, down tools away for the dinner.
Right.
But the man now, we were talking about Jim Never. In my opinion, the most intelligent man
Yes.
ever in Donegal.
Yeah.
Jim Never, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
But he used to be with Hugh Cassidy, was there, he was used to drive the tractor.
Right.
But you see, it was all about machinery with him.
Yes.
So that was all fairly well. The boys went away for their dinner. And up, he was known in the town, Paddy, as you know yourself, as Mighty Mouse.
Yes, yes.
Mighty Mouse, he had them all away. Of course, he was in the wagon. Mighty, he was very small, that's where it from. He jumped up in the wagon and Cassie says, "What are you going to do?" "I'm going to take that out," he says.
Yes.
Cassie says, "Jesus, Jim, don't bother. Leave it alone. Leave it alone." Here's the wagon and all the gears that he could see on her, winches, the whole lot. Jesus, the wagon started. She went up on the front, stanced across the pier, and Cassie, he was ready to pull out his hair. He didn't know what was going to happen. But and the smoke and the burning of the clutches hopped around the whole thing, and then bang! Jesus, the next thing, the truck come down on their force, and the yoke started winding the anchor. So when he was out of rope, he jumped off and switched her, and he went away. So the boys arrived back at 2 o'clock. The anchor was nearly up on the beach. And that's the truth of that. That is the truth.
Yeah. So the anchor then lay at the pier for a long number of years.
Did I?
Then it was moved up the Diamond then, wasn't it?
But I don't know whose idea was to take it out in the foot. It was a good idea, but why? What to do with it? It lay there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And then the next thing was it lay there, and the next thing it was taken up in front of the barracks. I think it was forced around there. You see that wall? There was no road there.
Oh, that's right.
There was no wall. There was water behind it.
Right.
But
because that was only a very narrow road down to the pier.
Oh, aye. Oh, yeah. It was only narrow.
A little path, really, wasn't it?
That's all it was.
Yeah.
But you see, there's another thing too, but you often see them. You often see them mill wheels. There's one outside the chapel in Killymartin.
Yeah.
And you often see in photographs all them wheels lying there.
That's right.
Well, Brady's father, as you know, was a great man for walking on a Sunday. He used to, when there would be no swimming in the winter time, he'd walk around La Hesque.
Yes.
One day he was walking around and he come across this fella out near where the old sawmill was out at
Burns Mountain.
Burns Mountain.
That's right.
And he had a map with him, and he says, "I'm looking for this quarry." And Brady's father, he never heard tell of it. And he had the map, and he said he was from Germany, and he had traced one of these wheels from some town in Germany.
Right.
To the mountain out here.
Yes.
So he says, "I'm going up to look for it." So the old man, he says, "I'll go with you." So they walked over the mountain anyway, and a good distance. I never heard anybody talking about this, ever. I never knew there was such a thing as that up there.
There is, up there, and in actual fact, there's a family called Cherry who lived in Donegal town who exported those from Burns Mountain, because we did a bit of research on recently for another people. And if you go up Liam, just up past the sawmill there, it's not that far up really, you'll see some old of the stones still there at this stage. Yeah,
well, he went up and they come across this, and the driving shaft where they dropped the wheels on and the square, I would say I think it was about 4 inches square or maybe more. But then the question is, how did they get them down from there?
They must have rolled. The only thing I can think is they must have rolled them down the hill.
Well, I'll tell you how they got them down.
I know.
They got a stick.
Right.
And they shaved the stick with a hatchet or whatever. To the exact size of the drive. Right. And they stood one of them up and they put the stick in. And they put 2, and they put 3, and they put 4. This time it was.
All right.
They were. And then they wheeled it over to the top of the mountain. and give her a push in the witch. That's how they got
There's a lot of people come looking for that mill which is not there.
Yeah, you see, like I'm talking yarn now, and it's what I've picked up from the father-in-law.
Yes,
you see.
They're right in what you said there. Yeah,
Because everybody can add a wee bit to it and take a bit from it and all the rest of it.
Yeah,
but it's nice to know that there's something there that has meaning.
That's correct.
Meaning to people, like Father Sharkey, like Ken McMullen.
That's right.
You see, you never hear tell of them now, and if I asked you now, where's Ken McMullen buried?
That's right.
Do you know where he is buried?
I don't know where he's buried, no.
No, you'd say, oh, in Clare, that all the priests are buried out. He's not. He's buried on the old abbey, up against the wall between where, do you know, the McAloons, was it?
Oh yes, McAloons.
McAloons, and where Jim Timoney's buried.
Right. He's
up against the wall there in a common ordinary grave.
Oh.
One of the greatest men Donegal ever had, and I'm not afraid to say that.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Because what he done for the town.
He was a very far-sighted man, wasn't he, when he didn't come into town?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Did you ever hear him mentioned since?
No, not at all, no.
Nothing good about him?
No.
But in my memory, I can't see anybody to equal him.
No.
He was ahead of his time.
Well, he built that church, didn't he? He was instrumental in St Patrick's Church starting, was he?
No, he wasn't.
Was he?
He right here when it was on the floor.
All right.
I would say he took it from, again, I'm saying that, I'm not really sure about that now. But I know that he paid for it.
Yes. Yes.
From the cinema.
Yes.
And he built the club rooms.
Right.
And there was a whole lot of things that he done that nobody ever hear tell us. That's a great sign.
Yes.
Everybody can do something and bum about it.
That's right.
Do something and say nothing about it.
Correct. Yeah.
I heard of a person, no, I'll not go down that story because too easy linked, and I don't want that, you know.
Okay.
But there's still alive, the people involved, you know, helping out people, and nobody knew who was playing the money.
Yes.
There's one fella in the town,
Yeah.
not a native at all.
Yeah, yeah.
He was playing the money for it, but them stories go on forever. But
can I get back to you just before we wind up now? Because that's been excellent. The old school, the Scully Rua, and then the Nuala Convent School, the school that you would have went to lay out on Clara Road.
Yeah.
It was an old stone building, as we all know. Just for, I'm going to say this for the younger people of today who may not have known that. And there were outside toilets. Do you remember those?
Yeah, I do, right.
Yeah.
A nice person.
Yeah.
Well, again,
Yeah.
to make a distinction between them that have and them have not. Them that had not, they were given the bucket and a gout to fill the water and flush that, throw the water down,
Yes.
to flush away the
There were
solids.
dry toilets, weren't up the back of the...
No, there was 3. Now, I could be wrong, but I think it was 3 now.
That's what I'm saying, but there were dry toilets.
Oh, they were, sorry, I thought you did 5.
No.
No, 3. No, 3 toilets dry,
Yeah.
And that's flushed.
And the teachers at that time would have been, I know Miss McGinley, who celebrated, or you say her, was there?
Her 3rd, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Sunday there.
There was Miss McGinley, and was it Jim McGovern was the teacher then?
James
McGovern.
He was married to Dr. McGettigan's sister down at Dermot. Now it'll be his aunt.
And Donegal, yeah.
Donegal.
And then was there J.J. Harvey, was he there?
He was Charlie and Barney, and old Mick was the tailor. They were all tailors, but there was 2 teachers.
Yeah. Getting back to the Harveys, Charlie Harvey, you remember Charlie and Jim McCurry and them? They used to sit up in the window with on the tailoring.
Mick, you'd sit closest to the window with up on a bench. It was about that size.
Yeah.
And his knees folded, and that's how they done the whole works.
I remember Charlie Harvey telling me a story when I was a kid years ago, during the Troubles, when the Black and Tans were in Donegal. Patrick Harvey, who was Charlie's brother, was involved that time with the old IRA. And they kept searching to the house looking for him, but they took Charlie anyway. And they took him to Derry, to the assizes in Derry, and he was sent on then to Belfast. That must have been the prison ship in the harbour there.
That's right.
Yeah.
There was a whole lot of it.
Yeah, Phil Timoney was on that as well, I think, and Paddy Gallagher.
Aye.
And that I think they're in Malachy Sweeney's new book actually.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't see that,
Yeah.
but yeah, they were there. They were there, and
Well, listen, Liam, that's
that was true too.
Yeah.
Like that, he took the place of the brother.
he did. That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Aye.
Charlie Harvey. Yeah, he was a good character, Charlie. And you remember little Jim
Jim Henderson.
Henderson? That's right.
That was a great family.
Yeah.
They were jailers too.
Were they? That's right.
And there was Johnny
That's right.
and Mrs. Henderson.
Yes.
And do you remember the cartoons? Not belittled and anybody,
Yeah.
but there was, you know, the Tweety bird and
Yes,
the old
yeah,
lady,
yes,
you know.
yes, that's right.
And Mrs. Henderson always reminded that gentle old lady. You
That's
know.
right.
She was very nice.
Yeah.
The Hendersons were great people.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, they were very great people.
Yeah.
There was May and Frank
Yes.
and Jim and Nellie
Yeah.
and Blanche.
Yeah.
And probably living out some of them too. I can't remember.
Wasn't one of those married to one of the Johnsons? Was there up? And that's different. That's the family next door, weren't they?
Oh, that was the Watsons.
Aye, aye.
Probably was married to a daughter of Willie Watson, and their
Aye,
mother a very
aye.
prominent man.
That's right.
They're great families in the town. There was down in that day, there was your grandfather's,
Yeah.
and then there was
Yeah.
2 houses there, but there was Paddy Gallagher,
That's right.
and then there was the Timneys on the other side of the
That's
street,
right.
and then there was the Watsons
That's
and the
right.
courthouse,
That's right.
and there was thick as thieves.
That's right.
They were in one another's house, you know.
That's right,
Jesus,
yeah.
they were, you know, that's where May, Lord of Mercenary, she's dead and gone now, Hornblood, all the Hendersons are gone, but she used to say to me, May, that she was married to Percy Johnson, and then they had a Mervyn up in Petticoat, it's his mother.
Right.
She says, Liam, you know, she says, I used to love when they moved, or no, maybe before they moved, but they would go up around the town
Yes.
at night, and especially the far side of the bridge, and went up, and Josie Hart would be there,
Yes.
you know, and they'd give them fish,
Yeah.
and the people there chatting at late at night,
Yeah.
you know, they'd be waiting on you to come,
That's right.
and that was, where's that now?
That's right.
That's the cause of it there,
Yeah.
the television.
Well, Wooly Watson and Martha, do you remember Martha?
Aye, she was.
Wooly was the caretaker in the
Do you remember?
courthouse.
I'll tell you now, Martha, I was gone forever, but there was the blacksmith of the Thompson Robinson.
Oh, right, yes, that's, yeah.
Well, Martha was a sister of Thompson Robinson.
That's where Jimmy McGroarty lived, was it now?
Aye, that's right. And out there in the high road, there was the Robinsons right there. Harry and what do you call him? Walked over in the Harry the truck man.
Oh, aye.
And Gordon.
Gordon, yeah.
They'd be all cousins.
Oh, I didn't know.
They're all cousins, you know.
Oh, all right.
That's listen.
Yeah.
You go to that bridge end over there
Yeah.
and tell me who isn't. Well, not now, but 25 years ago,
yeah.
they were all related.
Yes.
You couldn't open your mouth because you didn't know who you were talking to.
Yeah.
And that's the way it was.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
unbelievable. And I could go on about different prominent people in the town.
Well, just to finish up, and as you rightly say, Liam Mc Cauley, that's the way it was, and indeed I must say thank you very, very, very much for that interview. It was excellent. And we're just morning in the lovely home of Brady and Liam Mc Cauley in Castle Street, Donegal town. I must say it's been a very, very, very unusual and exciting and very historically valuable meeting with Liam Mc Cauley. He's the son of the late William Mc Cauley, who was the first ambulance driver in Donegal District Hospital in the 1920s. And if I can just mention, I think it's appropriate to mention at this stage, Liam is one of a family of 8. His brothers, the late Paddy, Hughie, Gerald and his sister Mary, all deceased, and the remaining the brothers are Anthony and Sean, and his sister Nancy, who's was married to the late Peter Kennedy, County Councillor, indeed a very prominent man, Donegal. Liam, we thank you very, very much indeed for the valuable information you've given to us this morning. And if I can just say, on the Friday the 10th of April 2015, in several days' time, Brady and Liam's youngest son Shane will be marrying a local girl, Billy Ann Johnson, son of Billy and Audrey Johnson. So again, they're going to cement together I suppose the ongoing ties that Donegal families have with each other. So that's all I can say to you folks, and thank you very, very much for watching.
By the door, the kettle boiling on the hearth, yeah, as I walk up the floor, and then to see our welcome free for travelers one and all. Oh, this way in the homes of Donegal.